Hello guys, Fish767 here. So today we are looking at Shroom the Hedgemon. This will be a Shroom the Hedgemon deck tech. This deck I'm going to call it Awesome Eggs because Rotten Eggs doesn't seem to fit it anymore, seeing as how it's won every game that it's played so far. So, anyway, I'm sorry I haven't uploaded recently. I've been having problems with my computer and microphone, etc., and I haven't actually had any content to record, as a matter of fact. So, anyway, I did manage to build this deck, and we're going to look into it. I've played probably close to 10 games with it, and like I said, it's won every single one, and it's doing really well. So, Shroom, we're in Esper colors. It's 3 in Esper, and she's a legendary artifact creature, Sphinx. I don't know if you can see it. My phone doesn't want to focus. Okay. She's a 5/5 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, you may return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And we're playing an artifact deck, obviously. And if any of you guys are familiar with eggs, you'll know what eggs does, where it sacrifices the artifacts and then brings them back, and that's how it wins. And our deck is egg-like, but it's really bad because it's commander and it's cheap. So. Anyway, we're going to start out with our artifacts. We got Hedron Archive. It's a 4-drop, taps for 2 of it, 2 colorless, and then you pay 2, tap it, and sacrifice it and draw 2 cards. So that could be an egg. We don't use it for that very often. We got Brain in the Jar. It's a 2-drop artifact. Pay 1, tap it, put a charge counter on it. Then you may cast an instant or sorcery card with confirmed mana cost equal to the number of charge counters on it from your hand without paying its mana cost. Or pay 3, tap it, remove X charge counters from it, and scry X. Since we can proliferate in infinite amount of times, we're going to be using that to scry to whatever card we need. Mirror Battle Sphere is a 4/7 for 7 artifact creature. When it enters the battlefield, you put 4 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature tokens on the battlefield.
You gonna go, Jonathan?
Yeah, I'll be there in a minute, thank you.
I can't hear you.
I'll be there in a minute, thank you.
I didn't hear you.
Sorry about that. When it enters the battlefield, you put 4 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature tokens on the battlefield. Whenever it attacks, you may tap X on tap mirror where you control, and if you do, it gets +X/+0 until the end of turn, deals X damage to the defending player. That's an important card. I'm just going to go over the names for now. We got Bubbling Cauldron, Mirror Works, that's a very important card to have in the deck. Jorva's Familiar, Alchemist Vial, that's one of our eggs. Nihili Spellbomb, that's a good card. It could be an egg. Throne of Geth, which is an important card. We got Commander Sphere, that's technically an egg, but not really. Inkpool Leviathan, Magistrate Scepter, that's also a win con. Mindless Automaton, I'm sorry about this, it doesn't want to focus. Anyway, Core Prowler, Sentinel, which is a really good artifact creature. Oracle's Vault, Darksteel Ingot, Bolas' Citadel, that's an important one. Energy Chamber, that's an important one. Elixir of Immortality, Enigma Sphinx, Contagion Clasp. This is a Mist Vein Border Post. I can't say that word. Soul Ring. We've got Mana Geode, Firemind Vessel, Dreamstone Hedron. That's technically an egg, but not really. Powerstone Shard, and we have that in here because we can copy it. Conjurer's Closet, which lets us flicker a commander. That's an important one. Surge Node, Metalwork Colossus. That's a wonderful artifact creature, by the way. This one is a Field Mist Border Post. Guild Globe, that's our second egg. That's actually an egg. Thopter Spy Network, we're into our non-artifacts. Iceberg. Yeah, Iceberg. We've got Time Wipe. Spark Double, that one's important. Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord, the new one. We've got Final Parting. Clone, which is also important. We got Oath of Teferi, which can help us win games. Dark Imposter. Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge. We use him as a win con. Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, also a win con. Future Sight, which will be helpful later because I'm going to mention something. Vizier of Many Faces. Ugin, the Ineffable, that's the new one. Eminatau, the Fate Shifter. Phyrexian Scriptures. The Dalkin Infuser, that one's important. Sidri Galvanic Genius, that one could be important if you use Caltropes. I didn't opt for that. Tezzeret Artifice Master. Diabolic Tutor. Pitiless Plunder. Lumbering Battlement, that one's important. Sunscorch Regent. Hidden Stockpile. Angelic Chorus. Crux of Fate, which is a nice destroy all dragons or destroy all non-dragons. Liliana, the Dreadhorde General, Yannette, Cryptic Sovereign, and then we're into our lands. The only important lands are Karn's Bastion, because that can help us do some stuff, and then the other important land is a Darksteel Citadel, because that one's actually an artifact, and then there's a third one, Inventor's Fair. That's our other important land, but the rest of the lands don't matter as much. You can have whatever lands you want, really. I don't have time to go over my land base right now. So anyway, these are the cards that I've pulled aside, and this is what you're going to want to know. Lumbering Battlement, what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 more copies of it, and because we're going to make 2 copies of it, we're going to have 1 copy, Exile Lumbering Battlement, because it says Vigilance when it enters the battlefield, exile any number of the other non-token creatures you control until it leaves the battlefield. That's the important part. So we're going to have it on the field, we're going to copy it, and then we're going to exile itself under that card. And then we're going to make another copy, and we're going to exile under here, which is going to bring in the other copy, and then they're going to flip-flop, and we can exile any number of other creatures. So our main win con with that is we're going to do that, and we're going to exile Myr Baluster, make infinite numbers of Myr, and then we're going to want our commander on the field, and that's going to allow us to use Bolas' Citadel to sacrifice 9 Myr and itself, and then bring it back with Shroom, and then that's going to deal 10 damage. And so we're going to keep on doing that until we've killed everybody. We can also sacrifice Throne of Geth to itself, which allows us to proliferate an infinite number of times if we're able to flicker Shroom. Vidalca Infuser plus Energy Chamber and Magistrate Scepter lets us take infinite turns as long as we have Karn's Bastion. We put 4 mana into it every turn. These are just eggs, so we can sack them to draw a card and then reanimate them. This guy we can put +1/+1 counters on if we want to, and then remove those counters to draw cards, and then we can use that with the Bolas' Citadel to play other cards. Spark Double is just another way to do the combo, and Conjurer's Claws that allows us to do the combo every turn if we need to, or just flip or other things. With Angelic Chorus as well, we can gain infinite life, allowing us to play our entire deck out with Bolas' Citadel, as long as we can draw cards, which is made easier because of the Mindless Automaton, and that's really how the deck works. There's a couple other combos in here, but none of them are significant other than this, and basically the idea is you protect yourself while you're doing these combos, and once you do the combos, well, you obviously win, and each new card in the deck really helps out the rest of it, except for Brain in the Jar, which you could remove and put in Caltropes if you wanted, and Caltropes plus Sidri allows you to pay Esper as a color set. The blue turns Caltropes into a creature, and Caltropes says whenever another creature attacks, it deals 1 damage to that creature, and then you can pay black and a white, and then that will give the Caltropes, because it's not a creature, Death Touch and Lifelink, so that could kill any attacking creatures and then gain you a ton of life if you want. So you can always put that in if you want to. We have in the Future Sight, or it's not Future Sight, whatever the card is that lets you look at the top card of your deck, it's in there somewhere. It's triple blue and then 2 other, but it's in the deck already. So you can use that plus Cloud Key, which can make your artifacts cost 1 less to cast, or just Ugin or Drover's Familiar. You don't have to go get Cloud Key specifically, that's a bit expensive. And then if you have Sensei's Divining Top, you can just tap it to draw a card, and then it goes on top, and then because you can play the top card of your deck, and it would cost 1 less, you can just play it for free, and then you can draw out your entire deck and win with the Jace if you wanted to. And since you can proliferate an infinite number of times, you can use the Iceberg, which puts charge counters on it, and then it puts Iceberg counters on it, and then you remove the Iceberg counters, and that gives you mana. And so you can pay 3 to put 1 on there, and since you can proliferate an infinite number of times, you can get infinite colorless mana. And you can also make your Planeswalkers infinitely big if you want. So that's how this deck works generally. There's plenty of changes that you can make to it if you want to make it better, of course. But it's fairly cheap. The border posts are some of the more expensive ones at $1 a piece, and the rest of them are pretty cheap. So thank you guys for watching. I know it's been a while. I hope to upload more. I've got a Jund deck I'm going to try and upload for tomorrow, but no promises because I'll have to get to the library in order to do it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.